I'm sure this has been a whirlwind. Where were you when you got the call?
I was at home with my family, and patiently waiting to hear that phone ring. And when it did, it was the most exciting thing that I can ever feel and ever been through in my baseball career.
How did we get this is your I almost think this is an embodiment of your career, right? You had some great some high highs, some low lows. You had health concerns at one time when you played, and you left the game as a tremendous player. But then that's kind of like the path to getting into the Hall of Fame, where you didn't receive a high percentage your first year, then it was kind of a slow burn, and finally now you get over 80% of the votes. What's it like to see those numbers and see them rise, and people start to elbow you and nudge you and go like, "Hey, this is a reality." What is it? What is that up and down like?
Well, it's something that baseball is an up and down type of a career. Seasons go up and down. I mean, you have, it's the only game that you can actually fail to be a Hall of Famer. You 3 hits out of 10 at bats, and you're a Hall of Famer. So that's something I learned to understand about baseball. I mean, we're the only sport that play every day. We're the only sport that play 162 games in a season, as well as spring training. So it's something that you have to deal with the ups, and you have to deal with the downs, and sometimes some goods are better than some of the bad parts. But I mean, 20 years, your body gets beat up. Your joints are good one day and they're not good the next day. So you definitely have to try to be prepared. I mean, and I think that's why I joined Osteobiflex, because it's something that'll help you in joint pains. It helps you stay active. It helps keep you on the go, and especially now that I'm older. When you're younger, you can deal with a lot of pain, but when you get older, it gets a little tougher. So this year I joined with Osteobiflex to kind of get me back on track.
New age statistics really got you in, right? I mean, that's when people started to realize on-base percentage was important. You had the highest stolen base success rate of all time, 84.7. Like, it almost felt like that you had been good for a long time, but people suddenly realize how dominant a leadoff man you were 20 years after the fact because of the use of new metrics, no?
I think so. I think it kind of got me over the hump, because I think a lot of times back in the day, old school people kind of looked at batting average. They looked at home runs. They looked at, runs batted in. They looked at all those individual type of things, but they didn't look at the whole picture. And I think, if you look at my career, you look at the whole picture, you can see there's a lot of things in sabermetrics. Sabermetrics is the one ingredient that kind of got me pretty much where I am today.
Tim Raines joining us on the Doug Gottlieb Show, CBS Sports Radio. How really did you get your nickname?
For playing football. Actually, my first year. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're laughing. So you said from your first year. Okay, tell the story.
My first year in pro ball, I went to rookie ball, and the first thing, one of the other players, they looked at me and they go, "Man, you don't look like a baseball player. You look like a football player. You look like a rock man." I mean, I was built kind of solid. I mean, not very tall, but short and kind of stocky, muscle bound. And they said, "Man, I don't know if are you gonna come here to play football or baseball?" And that's kind of where it started. But I get a lot of different answers for that once I got older, especially at the major league level. I mean, the guys started getting on me about, they don't call you rock because of the way you build. They call you rock because of your rock hands playing second base. And that's kind of where it started from after the name had already got going.
You put that on your mama? You put that on your mama? That's how you got it?
I put it on my mom and a little bit on my dad, but mostly on my mom.
Tim Raines joining us on the Doug Gottlieb Show here on CBS Sports Radio. Vlad didn't get in. And, of course, though you were not Expo teammates together, like once an Expo, always an Expo, Vlad eventually gets in, doesn't he?
Well, actually, I did play with Vlad in '01. I got an opportunity to, get a chance to play with him. But I really feel that, it's a tragedy that he didn't get in on the first ballot. But, he definitely will get in. If not next year, the year after. I mean, he definitely Hall of Fame worthy. He was a great player and a good friend of mine. And he'll be there shortly. He'll be a teammate of mine pretty soon.
Who's the first person you called? When you found out, who was the first person you called or texted?
My mom.
What'd she say?
Called my mom, and she told my dad, so I didn't have to call them both. So definitely my mom, because she was the biggest supporter of me since I was 5 years old. She took me to practice. She wasn't my coach, but anytime I didn't do anything right, she let me know. Even in the major leagues, I would call my mom, and when I didn't do something that I should have done, she would let me know. So she always kept me on track.